Welcome once again. This is what Mike say.
I feel good.
And our video content for today topic is a continuation for our last video with title Order by Arbiter for a filed motion to revive a labor case. But before I start, please don't forget to subscribe on my channel and push the notification bell para updated po kayo for the notification of new videos and updates on my bloggings and video content. Like and comment. I have a sequence video regarding my real life struggle on a labor case filed year 2014. If you watch already my videos, you will know that I am waiting for the release of labor court order for my filed motion to revive a case with a decision already but no enforcement for monetary award because of some issues involved. You can watch my videos, some other videos, so you will know the sequence. I have already this paper. I have already the paper of order by the arbiter that I got from my public attorney's office legal counsel. Thanks for you, attorney. Anyway, attorney, even though you already gave up and urgently chose not to be my lawyer on this case battle after you give this paper to me. I don't know the reason. Maybe I don't have money. And I know something. Based on transmittal endorsed to PAO from Presidential Complaint Center, Malacanang, you should be my public attorney's legal counsel until I get equity and justice and find remedy till I file a writ of execution to get my monetary award based on arbiter NLRC decision. And to National Labor Relations Commission, NLRC, DOLE, Department of Labor and Employment Arbiter. Now, I name you because I want you to see anywhere, even in court, with my former employer. Now that I have all the grounds to make an appeal. Rule 6, appeal, Section 2 grounds. If there is a prime facie evidence of abuse of discretion on the part of labor or regional director. B, if the decision, resolution, or order was secured through fraud or coercion, including graft and corruption. C, it made purely on question of law and of, or D, if serious error in the findings of facts are raised which, if not corrected, will be cause grave or irreparable damage or injury to the appellant. Considering that I very much interested in pursuing the instant case against the respondents, do I have a chance to grant my motion for revival of the case? Surprisingly, after 9 months of waiting, I already received an order of the arbiter, substitute to the original arbiter, who already retired couples of years ago while I am pursuing the case. After I filed a motion to revival, our opposition also filed an answer and comment and opposed our motion to revive. Indicated that, number 1, opposed said that I am not being honest and candid with the said amount indicated on the decision of the honorary arbiter. Second, that I already signed a quitclaim release. And another one said that I'm not attaching the copy of the quitclaim and release to motion to revive. Yes, I'm not or attached that copy because I already lost that copy when I go to Quiapo Church, when I buy a book. And then I go back to the company for the as a copy of that, and they give me a copy of that because I really need that for the application on for a job interview on the other company. They accuse me is only 20,000 as a complete and full satisfaction. No, that price was amount was not a complete and full satisfaction because only that amount is only my back pay that I asked for the company, but they after the meeting, that waiver was machinated, and they they give me a waiver of claim, and they tried to sign me as a final payment.
Another one.
And arbiter said that committed an honest mistake on stating in page 2 of the decision the settlement amount of 120,000. For me, it's not acceptable. That is not honest mistake because as a professional for a long-term profession as arbiter up to his retirement is I think I know his job very well and will not mistake on his decision. So it's also it's a clear on amount with numbers and by words with his signature and indicated on logbook as amount settlement is without amount. And another one that they said that I did not know the decision and also the quitclaim and release. No, I know the decision and why I follow up for more than 5 years. And I have a copy of the papers as a proof. And the quitclaim release, I will prove that it's not a full settlement because we have agreement for that, and I ask only my back pay. And why I pursue it for so many years and wasted time and effort and money. And I will show it on my documents as stated.
Stop it. Get some help.
Another one that they throw on me is both parties did not notice the error in the decision only with the realization that the case was already fully settled and dismissed. And maybe sometime in October 2019, they said that complainant read the decision once more and noticed the mistake and thought that I can make money of it. Again and again, I show you the documents, follow up, and I will not waste time, effort, money, and priorities because of this. All I want is equity, injustice, and satisfaction of judgment. And this one is hilarious that I will not pass. They said that clearly, complainant is simply taking advantage of an honest mistake committed by a retired labor arbiter 5 or more years ago, thinking he can squeeze. Arbiter should not allow complainant to get away with his scheme. That's so embarrassing. I will not take advantage on that because I will say then again on my first sentences and paragraph that quitclaim and release waiver was machinated. I will prove it.
I am the one, the way your son don't need.
A motion to revive, not a verified petition. My attorney and lawyer passed a revival to case.
Okay.
Another one, lapses on the decision to claim the monetary award settlement. The independent action is needed. That's for them.
Okay.
For me, no feeling of justice, no found procedure established. Is there a manner, contrary to moral, good customs, or public policy, attended by bad faith or fraud, or constitute an act oppressive to labor? It is injurious or tortuous. It is done without abuse of discretion or arbitration. Compromise agreement in any stage of any settlement processes the labor dispute may be resolved by the parties through compromise agreement, provided that the agreement is freely entered into and is not contrary to law, moral, or public policy. A compromise agreement is not subject to approve of the authority before whom the case is pending. Even a labor standard can be settled through a compromise on Article 227, but it has been held that ULP cases are not subject to compromise. ULP cases are not subject to compromise, as stated. Complainant must be afforded relief with reference to the matter in controversy in which is appropriated to the particular circumstances of the case. The remedy in the first place, which is the compromise agreement, must be plain and not doubtful or obscure and must be complete. The rule of the evidence prevailing in courts of law or equity shall not be controlling, and it is the spirit and extension of this code shall not use every and all reasonable means to ascertain the facts in each case speedily and objectively and without regard to technicalities, law, or procedure, all in the interest of due process. Any contract, agreement, or arrangement of any sort to the contrary shall be null and void. It is true that a compromise agreement, once approved by the court, has the effect of res judicata between the parties and should not be disturbed except for the vices of consent and forgery. The working class whose inferiority against the employer has always been earmarked by disadvantage. Since fraud implies willfulness or wrongful intent, the innocent non-disclosure of facts on contracts will not constitute to dismiss a case. The implementation of agreement between employer and employee who underprivileged must not be oppressive and abusive since it is affect one's person and property. By ample opportunity to be in arbitration court, the employee is meant every kind of assistance that an LRC arbitration court must afford to enable him in having a fair judgment of award. The case cited constitute the exception and wrong procedure of signing on quitclaim based upon consideration of equity. So, what is equity? And equity has been defined as justice outside the law, being ethical rather than jural and belonging to the sphere of moral than law. It is grounded on the precepts of conscience and not on any sanction of positive law. Justification for the grant of amount or rate of award on contract obligation. Thus, the amount of quitclaim amount was considered warranted and required regardless the nature of degree of grievances, complaint, and illegal dismissal case. On the ground of social justice, it is fair. The final decision in general are granted on the grounds of equity for earning loss to the employee due to his illegal dismissal and for those that he or she earned during his entire employment but not paid by the employer. There should be remedy in means of restoration to the state of constitution from which one had been removed or separated. Is it the receipt and release was legally binding? Jurisprudence existence to the effect that a deed of release quitclaim cannot bar an employee from demanding benefits to which he is legally entitled. It also do not stop them from pursuing the claims arising from the unfair labor practice of the employer, and that employee who received their separation pay are not barred from contesting the legality of their dismissal, and that the acceptance of these benefits will not amount to stop it. References: case Veloso versus Dole cited under Article 227. On case settlement, sample, Santiago versus De Guzman, GR 84578, September, dated September 7, 1989. GLP cases are not subject to compromise. The Supreme Court frowns upon the undesirable practice of a party submitting its case for decision and that accepting the judgment only if favorable and attacking it for the lack of jurisprudence. When adverse, a remedy of law must in the first place be plain and not doubtful or obscure. Secondly, it must be complete. The Supreme Court construed Article 221 of the Labor Code set as to allow the National Labor Relations Commission or a labor arbiter to decide a case on the basis of position papers and other documents submitted without resorting to technical rules of evidence as observed in the regular court of justice. Decision of settlement of amount of 120,000 was supported by documentation written on logbook of arbiter and archive record. The settled shall be approved by the labor arbiter after being satisfied that it was voluntarily entered into by the parties and after having explained then the term and consequences. Therefore, under this rule, it is incumbent upon the labor arbiter not only to persuade the parties to settle amicable, but equally to ensure that the compromise agreement entered into by them is a fair one and that the same was forged freely, voluntarily, and willful, understanding the terms and conditions embodied therein as well as the consequences therefore. The later ones devolving upon the labor arbiter gains significance when fail to exhaust the gamut and employment contracts to which the lack of a fixed period will be an anomaly and the duration of engagement. May an employee still file a claim against the employer after resigning and executing a quick claim? Generally, once an employee resign and execute a quick claim in favor of the employer, he is therefore stopped from filing a money claim against the employer arising from her employee. But, and when it is established that there is an unwritten agreement between the employer and employee upon resignation, entitling the employee to other remuneration of benefits, when such a money claim of the employed was given due course, quick claim and or complete release executed by the employees does not stop them from pursuing their claim arising from the unfair labor practices of the employer. A deed of release or quit claim cannot bar an employee from demanding benefits to which he is legally entitled. Quit claims of the workers' benefits will not stop them from asserting them just the same on the ground that public policy prohibits and such waiver. Now my content was too long, so I cut this. On my next video, I will show you the content of the order and some reaction and adaptation of some law and again, this is what Mike Say Vlogs. Again, don't forget to subscribe on my channel and push the notification bell so you can updated on my latest video.